Yeah, you gotta subscribe to Beehive.
Oh, what is this Beehive thing? Like,
I don't know. Everyone's you just gotta be on it. In the YouTube comments, some people are like, "Why would you spend 10,000 a month in Bangkok?" It's like iPhone expensive. Put that on 24 months credit card payment. And the objective is to stay away from all the ladyboys and gorillas. Yeah, we'll go. Follow this because he's a and he's.
You really love the.
Yeah,
really
suck my. Yes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bangkok, Thailand. Cheers, Gilbert.
Cheers.
Guys, meet my homie Gilbert. I mean, we've known each other since like the Chiang Mai days or like
Nomad Summit days.
Nomad Summit days. Oh, dude.
2017.
You introduced me to David Zhu.
Yeah. He's coming next week.
Oh, he's coming next week?
Yeah,
he loves Bangkok.
Yeah, he lives in Tokyo now, but he's thinking of moving. So we gotta convince him to
Yeah. He was like, Tong Lo was where we are at, bro. Where we are at now, bros, in Bangkok is very Japanesey, and so he was. That's why he's saying why he loves Tong Lo specifically.
Oh, really?
Because
nice.
he loves Japan.
Nice.
Anyway, that dude. Yeah, I call him the Bitcoin gazillionaire. Anyway, and then another person you introduced me to. Anyways, we're here in Bangkok. You're like writing a book, which you just told me about like today.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. And then, so context here, guys. I always work at the cafe across the street. I was checking out this place. It's like a new co-working spot / super nice restaurant cafe / hotel just opened in recent months. And then the owner's like giving me a tour. He's like, yeah, we have podcast room. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was like, all right. And then we were just gonna hang out. And so I was like, let's just come hang out here and use this podcast room for $20 an hour.
Yep.
Easy. Here we are. And
I love it here.
Yeah. What do you think of Bangkok? Why do you love Bangkok so much? What do you tell your homies?
Well, last year I was so-called sampling places to potentially live in, and one of the choices in my throughout my travels was Lisbon, Portugal. But I figured it was a bit too far away from Asia, where my base of my network is based.
Okay.
And I also tried, cities in North America. Tried Vancouver.
Okay.
Went to Austin, Miami. But at the end of the day, when I came to Bangkok, I'm like, it's just the city that the city makes a huge difference.
Best city in the world.
Big cities. I mean, I grew up in New York. I spent 10 years in Hong Kong. So it's a huge difference between going into like a smaller tier 2 city versus going into a big major city. Yeah.
Like a Vancouver versus Bangkok or something. I mean, those are two different worlds. We got two completely different worlds. And then the size of Bangkok is just so big. I don't know, man. I haven't lived in like tons of other cities, but still, I'm right. Bangkok, best city in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Should we close the door, by the way?
Oh, yeah, maybe a little bit of people.
I can hear the
auxiliary noise.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
All right, so Bangkok versus Hong Kong. Like, if someone is asking you about that, what do you say? Because you've done a lot of time in 10 years in Hong Kong.
Yeah, 10 years in Hong Kong, and when I first moved there, I was 19. And obviously, when you're 19, you get attracted to the lights. You go there, you see a lot of the nightlife. You see a lot of the night cityscape, across the Victoria Harbor. Mm-hmm. And I was like drawn into that at first, right? Every night it was going out, staying up late until like sunrise, and then There's this place called Joa, which unfortunately no longer exists.
Oh.
But it was always an after hours place people would go to.
Yep.
And I was drawn in by that. But then I later found that Hong Kong also had a lot of like nature, a lot of hikes, a lot of scenery. I mean, there's a lot of buildings there, but then people don't actually see that there's beaches.
Yeah.
There's a lot of water sports you can do. But generally, sports over there has its limits because space is expensive, and therefore, I didn't get a chance to really like be really active there in that sense. Whereas when I came to Bangkok, I'm like, wow, so many different activities here. You can go rock climbing, you can go Muay Thai, you can do basketball, tennis, golf, all of those things, and I love playing sports. Love going to the gym, and the biggest difference for me was the people. Really, people in Hong Kong they're more on the corporate side, I would say.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a financial city, it's a financial hub, and therefore a lot of people go there for that purpose.
Yep.
So one thing I talk about in my book is that when it comes to locations, you're actually paying a premium to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Like to be somewhere for an opportunity. But whether or not you take advantage of that opportunity is up to you. So let's say I live in Hong Kong and I don't work in finance.
Yeah.
Then I'm paying the sky high rents and I'm not fully making the most of the city because a lot of people are willing to pay that premium on the rents so that they can get these high paying jobs.
Yeah, that's where the job is at.
Exactly. So the whole idea about location independence and working remotely and living in Bangkok is that you want to find avenues, you want to find what you like to do, and you would pay the premium for that. You'll find a city that matches as much of those boxes for you personally. And so Bangkok was that place for me.
Yep. I feel it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the way I will describe Bangkok sometimes, it's like people are not on the street in suits, for the most part in most districts. Of course, there are going to be some, but maybe you go to certain places in New York or Hong Kong. It's a financial city, and maybe Singapore or something like that. Whereas, Bangkok, you're not. It's not like people walking around with suits. It's a tropical. I call it tropical Buddhist New York City. Many people wear flip flops day to day. I do a lot of times. Even in the city, I'm going to work. I'm doing whatever. I'm going to Muay Thai. I'm wearing flip flops sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's hot. It's just how it is. Motorbike drivers, they may be wearing their little. They may be wearing their Crocs.
Yeah.
So it's just like.
With the socks on too. Like I see them with their socks on.
Yeah, maybe. And so it's got everything. It's got like Tonglo area where we're at now is it's both of ours.
It's bustling. I don't even leave the area.
There's just developments everywhere still going up, buildings going up everywhere. New things popping up like this co-working space. We're the first people. They just told us first people ever to use the podcast room at this new cafe
hotel,
/ hotel / co-working space. They have like Skype booth rooms here, and
you got the DJ booth behind us right here.
And so it's still really, really up and coming, because Thailand has obviously always been a huge remote workplace, huge destination for all tourism for everyone around the world, and then Bangkok is just the fucking city of Thailand. And then if you want to take a 1 hour flight, 50-minute flight down to Phuket for a weekend beach festival, which I'm going to be doing in a couple days. Hip hop beach festival / search competition, and I'm going to be there, this weekend. And so going to the beach from Bangkok is really just a quick little flight away. And so yeah, I mean we could talk forever about Bangkok.
Yeah, for sure.
So what is this book that you're doing? Like, what are you working on? Yeah, what are you working on these days, bro?
Yeah, so the book has been something that is a couple years in the making. I mean, as you know, I have my own podcast called the Live Your Edge podcast.
Live your edge, bro.
Yep.
Live life on the edge.
And
Round of applause.
so that podcast was running for a couple of years, and I'm in the process of restarting that. But throughout the process of that, I did over 100-ish, 110 episodes or so. And I realized that a lot of that content can be repackaged, reutilized, and what I called sawdust. So the idea of sawdust first originated from this copywriter called Ian Stanley. And he talked about if you're chopping down a tree for the logs, right? That's the primary byproduct, right? You use it, you sell the logs, etc. You use it to build. But there's a byproduct of that, which is the sawdust. The sawdust usually is discarded, but sometimes you can take that sawdust and you can repackage it, you can sell it. So what I'm doing with my podcast essentially is the content has already been created. I'm already doing the interviews and I have the transcriptions. Why don't I take that and turn it into a book and add my own content in there as well?
Yeah.
And that's what I set out to do. And at first, the first time I had the idea was about 2 years ago, and I procrastinated on that. And now I challenged myself to write a book in 30 days. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's going to be at least 45,000, 50,000 words. And I got to write this in the span of 30 days, published. And now we're on day 23. I'm almost done with the manuscript.
Awesome.
But it's exciting because, like, when you set out goals that seem quite unachievable at first, and you give yourself a strict deadline to do it, and you announce it to the world, now you got to make it happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. I've always been a fan of that. When I want to do something, I announce it to the world. Like I told my parents, yeah, I'm going to be, this October, I'm going to be moving to Thailand. This is like 6 months in advance, and then it just starts to become real. Dope. And so, so I actually had another friend, Payman, was on my podcast at my place in Phuket, and he did that as well. He did like 200 podcast episodes and then published a book from it. And then that's like also serves as your business card. And so, yeah, I've heard about these things. My assistant is watching this, Sri. All right, I want you to utilize GPT where you can. All right, so I'm already having him do this. And so that's the thing about it is you can now, with things like GPT, you can paste in the video transcript and then have them like make a summary of each podcast episode. And so I'm guessing you've been using some of that to summarize, right?
Yeah, I can even share my process for doing that.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'm happy to do that.
If you want to share it, yeah.
So the first step I do when I go about creating this book is I create the outline.
Yeah.
And then I make a list of different episodes that are relevant to the chapter. And then I go on this website called assembly.ai. And assembly.ai, you can put in the YouTube link. You can upload the video, the MP3, etc. And what it will do is it will give you a transcript.
Yeah.
And in the past, I would use sites like Rev.com. I would use various transcription websites. You got to pay a sum of money to get a pretty accurate transcript. Now with assembly.ai, with their playground, it's free actually. You don't got to pay a single cent.
Just for transcription?
Yeah.
Okay.
The summary and the transcription. The
summary.
summary's not that good, by the way.
Oh.
But
Okay.
here's what I do. I get the transcription. It's really good. And I take that transcription, I paste it into GPT-4,
Yeah.
and then ask it to summarize it, simplified language, all of that.
Yeah.
And it will just print out that summary for me. It'll correct the grammar, everything. In the past, I would have to get assistants to do that.
Yeah.
Now, imagine if I had to transcribe and make summaries for 30 episodes. In the past, the system would have to do each and every single episode. But now, because you're using automation, you can ask an assistant to use the automation tool, which means they don't actually need to be fluent with, let's say, the language of the podcast. Nor do they need to be like attuned to hearing all of those words and everything. One, they take less time. All they need to do is learn how to copy paste, move this around. And therefore, the amount of skilled labor required goes down. The cost of it also goes down because now you need less skilled people to do it and you need less time. And so that's one of the ways that I've been pretty much been able to get all of these summaries, all of these transcriptions in the span of like 2 days.
Yeah.
30, 40 episodes.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah. That's crazy times we're living in. And so if they're already on YouTube, by the way, they're already transcribed by YouTube. You can go into the YouTube backend and just copy it straight from there. Boom, paste it in GPT. Yeah, I could definitely do that.
And another thing I might add, when it came to writing the book, instead of typing everything, sometimes I would actually record myself talking about a topic.
Yeah.
And then I drag and drop it, like airdrop it to my computer.
Yeah.
Drag it into assembly. Boom, get the transcription. Boom, put it into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Ask it to expand on it. And all of a sudden, and one thing I also mentioned in the book is that one of the biggest limitations that people have when it comes to producing written material online is their typing speed. And I'm all for like working on the mundane stuff that people don't really care about. People don't really think about, oh, maybe I'm not very efficient when it comes to typing, so I should increase my typing speed. But typing speed is your direct interface between what's going on in your head and what's going into the computer. So it's limited by how fast you're typing. Now, you can improve upon that if you're speaking.
Yeah.
If you're speaking faster than you're typing by probably 2-3 times. And you're getting closer to your thinking speed, which is a lot faster than both. So if you can speak, you almost have this stream of consciousness of just passing thoughts from brain into words. And then from words, you have the machine do the modifications for you, expand on it. So then 10 minutes, let's say you speak 100 words a minute. That's 1,000 words in verb spoken, right? Once it's transcribed, now you ask ChatGPT to expand on it. You can turn that 1,000 words to 1,500 words, maybe even 2,000 words.
Yep.
So imagine in 10 minutes, you can get 2,000 words.
Yep.
Boom. Like, can you actually type 2,000 words in 10 minutes? No.
Yep.
No, almost no one can do that sort of thing, especially if you have to sustain that type of typing speed.
Yeah.
So my way of approaching process improvement is figuring out where are these bottlenecks and how can we use creative or sort of technology to bypass the need to
we are getting
those.
into some crazy times.
Yeah.
Quick break for 1 minute. I want to turn that light on and see how that looks.
Yeah, sure.
12 seconds later.
All right, light check.
Oh yeah.
Light check. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had to check our light. We forgot about the lights, bro. Oh, way better. Way better. Okay, nice. We got the aquapana flowing. Hey, I'm back. We turned on the lights. We forgot to turn on the lights. See, that's why we got ChatGPT assistants these days. But sooner than we think, we're gonna have robot assistants that's gonna be following me around Bangkok. It's gonna be my robot assistant.
I mean, I see those robots.
Dude,
in my place, there's like this robot that
Really?
it takes the trays, the food, and they take the trays after you finish the food. You put the tray in there. And it just goes away.
Have you guys in America seen these? Like in restaurants out here in Asia, certain restaurant chains have rolling tray servers where the food comes and it's delivered to you, and then it goes like nee, 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 nee. And then you take the window opens and you take your plate, and then it goes back to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Leave a comment below if you watch this far and you have seen this or not seen this. Let me know in the fucking comments. And if you watch this far as well and you like this video even somewhat, leave a like. Subscribe to the podcast. Follow Gilbert's channel. What are your socials people should follow?
Nowadays, I'm very active on Instagram.
Follow this mother. Where's the bleep? Follow this mother.
Well,
Follow this because he's a and he's mother.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's your boy DJ Flies.
You really love the.
Yeah, suck my Yes. I just said some Thai swear words. I don't know. That's fun. I gotta get me one of these.
I've yet to learn the Thai swear words.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I'm also on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm starting up a new email list.
Email list. Subscribe.
Yeah. Weekly
newsletter.
Weekly
That's the hot shit
yeah.
these days. If you ain't got a newsletter, you're just not even a fucking human these days.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not even playing the game. And so, yeah, I've been thinking about that these past 2 days. Like, do I gotta get a fucking newsletter about it?
Yeah, I thought you had a newsletter.
I mean, I don't have a newsletter. I mean, I have like an email list like everyone used to have, but now you can't just have an email list. You gotta have a fucking weekly newsletter. It's gotta be.
You gotta have your
5 Bullet Friday.
Substack,
Yeah, you gotta fucking subscribe to Beehive. You gotta be Substacking.
No, what is this Beehive thing? Like
I don't know. Everyone's fucking. You just gotta be on it. I don't know, dude. I mean, you could have ChatGPT like just write your. You could have an assistant plus GPT write a newsletter, but I feel like if you're gonna do it, I feel like you really gotta like really do it good, because that's like what's in my mind recently now. Like with all this GPT shit, it's just like I feel like there's just gonna be a lot of just mediocre shit, and so because everyone's gonna GPT their shit and think it's so cool, and so that's what like the real copywriting is gonna like just stay on top, because everyone's gonna be like, oh, summarize this, summarize that. We're gonna be wondering like, is this real? And so I feel like if you're good, like just keep the quality pumping, and then you'll stand out as always. But yeah, newsletters. And so what's your Instagram handle?
At Gilbert Joa Official. That's JOA.
Gilbert Joa Official.
Yep.
Nice.
We'll put it in the show notes anyway.
From New York. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Queens.
You're from Queens?
Yep.
What was your so is your family from Hong Kong, or why'd you move there? Or
well, my mom's from Hong Kong.
Okay.
But yeah, I was born and raised in New York, and coming out to Asia was probably the best decision I ever made.
Did you come for college?
Well, I end up coming for college, but at first I just wanted to get out of the U.S.
Yeah.
I just wanted something new. Like I was in the middle of nowhere. After my first year university, I wouldn't say where, but it was just a new change for me. Like I just wanted to try something new, and my father was on a business trip to Hong Kong. I went there for the first time, and I fell in love with the place. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy a ticket next year.
Oh.
I move over there.
Oh.
That's it.
But like
One-way ticket.
You were like enrolled in college there, or you were just like
Yeah. I had to figure it out. I had to like look for universities, and back then it was funny because I had this mohawk. I had that fox hawk or whatever going on, and I didn't realize that the university is a bit more conservative, right? Some of them. So I showed up to the admissions interview with this this fox hawk, like with this like little tail sticking out, and the admissions officer's like, "Nah, there's no way we're taking this guy." I mean, that was for the one that I actually wanted to go to, the school that I actually wanted to go to, but it's all right. I eventually got accepted to the school, and as long as I made it happen, like. For me, one of the things that I talk about, also write about, is that sometimes it doesn't have to be perfect. Like you make a decision, and you're operating off of imperfect information. You don't know what's going to happen, but sometimes you just got to get your foot in the door. You just got to make it happen. I mean.
And so, all right, so you made it happen to get in. Like, what was your college journey? Are you a dropout? Did you finish?
Oh no, I finished, but I studied mechatronic engineering, and funny enough, because mechatronics is about robotics.
Mechatronic?
Yeah, it's about robots. It's about automation.
That's some right there.
Yeah, it's about robots. So like, I was aware of this kind of stuff, but. I felt that back then, this was like more than 10 years ago, right? Back then, I felt like that technology wasn't really like, we were still building walking machines, like some really basic shit, right? So it wasn't like advanced kind of Terminator kind of robots.
Some Tesla bots.
Yeah, none of those Tesla bots, right? So very simple stuff, but over the years, I see the progress that automation's making. And I've always been a fan of automation, like automating things in my business, automating processes, all of that. Yeah.
So we can live the 4-hour work week and
exactly.
sleep in if we want to, and
But do people actually work 4 hours? Like, let's be honest. I mean, as nomads, we're and your friends.
It's because I'm not there yet. But I'm working on getting there. And what is first of all, it's a figure of speak. Work depends on our definition of work. It means most of the week you're spent doing things that you love doing, you enjoy working, so you would do it anyway if it weren't for the money. So that's like stuff you really love, and then maybe only 4 calls a week, whatever, with your team or investors or advisors or whatever. And so that's the dream. Get to a point where we are doing what we love with most of our time, right?
I think it's a slogan. A nice slogan.
Yeah, it's a slogan. Yeah. It's a figure of speech. You motherfuckers, stop. All right. Anyway, that's too much. I can't think of the next swear word I want to say.
Yeah.
4-work week, and then it's all about, and then the core. It's all about using these apps, like the very basic ones. Like you have an email list, you can have that going on drips for years and years to keep selling stuff in your business for you while you sleep. Use the internet and apps in your business. It's basic stuff. But now more and more post-COVID, everyone's like, oh shit, I can work from home, and it's totally fine. And so many people were going through that realization.
But now they're going back to the office. I think it was a great experiment, but it also kind of opened a lot of people's minds towards the idea of, oh, maybe I don't need to stay in the office.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't need to live in the city.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are migrating out of these major cities, these expensive cities like New York, California. Right. They're going somewhere else where the cost of living is less, the lifestyle is better, and they can enjoy more of their life while working remotely. Of course, working remotely also means you need to have that responsibility of getting things done. And so you got to have a good setup. Like I think having a laptop, like for me at least, having just a laptop in the coffee shop doesn't cut it for me. Doesn't work for me. I need to have my screens.
Yeah.
I need to have my keyboard, like my mechanical keyboard,
Yep.
mouse. I even have a standing desk.
Yeah.
Like elevated, standing there, got a pad underneath. Some people put like freaking a treadmill so you get your steps in.
Dude, we bought one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but the cool thing about, working from home or being your own boss, working remotely or whatever, is you have the option of, hey, today I feel like going to a cafe, and boom, you can go to a cafe. I'm like, for this past recent year, I'm like half and half. Traditionally, I've been like all cafe dude. But then this past year at our Phuket place, did you come over there after that one night at Illusion or whatever that we went out?
No, I don't think I ever went to your Phuket place, actually. No.
Well, the full video tour is coming. But anyways, 6 setup there, 4K monitor, and it was like the most productive like year of my life. And it was like working at home every day because it's like kind of not immediately in the city. But anyways, that's the point of the work remote life, of be your own boss life, is you have the option to, hey, today I feel like fucking going and working from the beach, and you can fucking do that. Or, most of the time, if you like working from home, have your own setup, you can do that. So it's about having the options. But yeah, 100%. So at home now, I have the fucking 4K screen, adjustable standing desk, podcast mic, everything.
Yeah.
So
you got to invest in the setup. That's what I believe.
Invest in your setup for sure. And that is one of the things about being a nomad, because traditionally I never had, my dedicated desk at home and a screen, because I was always month to month. Like I hadn't done a 12-month lease until the place in Phuket. Like in my 8-year nomad career. It was always kind of Airbnb or apartment rooms month to month, and that's why I was traditionally a co-working.
We should talk about that.
Yeah, because
I was doing month to month for a while too, and I feel like I was all over the place. It was hard to kind of get a routine going, right? And once I started to find a place, get a lease, just have a good setup there, I can finally establish a work routine, right? I got the gym across the street, doing all of these things, and I am still like, even if I wake up later than usual, sleep later than usual, some unexpected stuff come into my schedule, I still manage to get things done because I have that routine dialed in.
Yeah.
So it made a huge difference.
Yeah.
As opposed to like changing countries every few weeks. It was really tiring, actually.
Every few weeks is yeah. Every every few months it's like, and it depends who you are, but like this is what I would tell a past version of myself is actually, if you just go on Lazada out here in Southeast Asia, you can get one of those standing adjustable desks for like $100.
Yep.
You can get a monitor. Not a 4K one, but you can get a huge monitor for $200-$300 now. I have like the nice $1,000 4K one.
Really? Which one?
It's the ultrafine LG. LG ultrafine.
How big is that?
Like one of the nicest ones. It's 24 inch, about the size of this thing.
24 inch. Okay.
That's
$1,000.
It's $1,000. It's the nicest one. Like Parker ordered us up the nicest ones like on the market right now, and it's got. But the nice thing is the one plug. Where it's got the USB-C and it charges it, and so it's like one cable.
Okay.
There's no HDMI or whatever. But anyways, clean setup, plugs it in, and so I guess what I'm trying to say is, even if you're at a monthly place, just go on Lazada, order a standing desk, order a monitor, invest $400-$500 in a home desk setup, even if it's just for a month, and then if you want to, when you leave, give it to a friend, give it to a local, or you can put it on Facebook Marketplace and get a couple $100 back from it. So Facebook Marketplace, anywhere in the world, people buy and sell stuff all the time. For example, we moved out of our Phuket place. We sold like our weights rack. We sold like our inflatable fucking ice tub, ping pong table. We just had our assistant list them on Facebook Marketplace, and within one day, they come and pick it up. So yeah, no excuses. I'm trying to say, no mother excuses to not get your done from wherever you are. You don't need a boss to tell you when to get your done. Come on, we're all big boys, all right? Training wheels are off. You can be traveling the world and be successful in your career at the same time. We're all doing it, and it's not just us motherfuckers on Instagram. I just said, well, fuck it. The YouTube, you can swear on YouTube now. Yeah, it's millions of us, thousands of us, all around the world. Ain't no excuse to not be doing it. There's never gonna be a perfect time. Come out here to Bangkok.
I mean, inflation is rampant, so if you don't do it now, it's just gonna get more expensive over time.
Yeah.
It's just
Do it now. Do it now before the Tesla bots take over the world. All right, and then money is just like free, and then like where is this
Money
going?
is
Like,
free.
so like you know how like money is free. Like, so this is what like Elon Musk says stuff about this, and he's not the only one that talks about like abundance in the future and the singularity, and where is all this technology going? And some future time, whether it's like 50 years, 100 years, or 500 years, it doesn't matter. So where solar energy / nuclear is abundant, where the price of energy goes to basically zero, and we have armies or fleets of Tesla bots that are in every factory, everywhere, and they're doing all the labor, and to this future society point where energy is basically free and humans basically don't have to work. What would that society look like? And I always think about this like, when we're kids, we don't have to work. Like, what do we do? Like, what do we do with our time? And what do kids do, right? They learn and they play sports and they hang out with friends and they just be goofy.
Yeah.
So I always think about like, and then I think about what do retired folks do when they're retired? Like, what would we do if we don't have to work? Well, what do retired people do? They go on vacation, they garden, they do their hobbies, they stay at home and don't do shit, cook food.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what if this future society 50 years from now, it's like maybe you only have to, instead of working from, when you're 18 until you're like 60, what if you only had to do like 10 years of work in society, and then after that, like, energy is just free, and like everyone can have a 3D printed mansion for like basically free? And what would you do with your time? This is a good exercise for anyone of thinking about what would you do with your time on this planet if you didn't have to work, which ties into the 4-hour work week as well. And so I'm like, I would play a lot of sports. I would do what I love. I would do music, sports, podcasts. And so it's kind of just a little exercise of thinking like, what do I want to spend? What do I like doing with my time? What do I want to spend my time doing on this earth? And I always try to remind myself, start doing those things now. Like, there's never going to be a point like, oh, I'm this rich, now I can start doing my hobbies. Like, and you're doing them as well. You're talking about sports. And so
that's a common thing. That's a common objection that people give when you challenge them on what they're doing right now. I mean, if you challenge their worldview, for sure there's going to be a lot of resistance. But one of the things that I often get is that I'll do it when I have X amount of resources.
Yeah.
And the issue with this is that you will never have enough resources. But you could have enough courage. The courage doesn't come from some external thing. It's just very much internal. And everyone's scared when they do it.
Yep.
The only difference is, do you have the courage to push through despite the fear? And as far as resources, as far as taking action on things, I'm a firm believer in front loading a lot of the decisions that you would do in the future to doing it now. Let's say, for example, you want to go, you want to travel the world. You want to be a nomad, right? For example, right? And a lot of people would put that off. They'll say, okay, I need to make a little bit more money in my job, and then maybe in a few years, I'll quit my job and I'll do it. But then you'll be 5 years older, and your body will deteriorate because it's finite. And I realized one of the most important things is your energy and your mobility. Yeah. You lose both of them as you get older. So when you're young, you should prioritize activities that use both your energy and your mobility, because you're going to lose it over time. So if you like to play extreme sports, you like to do surfing, you like to play basketball, tennis, etc., you're going to lose a lot of that skill, flexibility. You're going to get stiff over time. And therefore, you should make a list. If I were to give advice on this, is to make a list of the different things that you like to do and put them on a timeline. Sort them on the timeline. What are things that you should actually be doing now? And don't put any of your other considerations in there. Just place them on the list because you actually believe that now is the optimum time to do it. Yep. And then look at this timeline. And if this timeline is not matching your current reality, then you need to make some changes to make it so.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time to get it done. Don't wait. Not only do we get older, and it's just not the same when we're older. It goes with social things. It goes with traveling as well. But, we could die at any moment. We could die, anything can happen. COVID can happen. You could get sick, accidents. And so that's another thing that I try to remind myself, another powerful exercise is if there's a tsunami or whatever the fuck, or an accident, and if you got COVID and died, what would your legacy be? And then also, would you be satisfied with your life, looking back in the next dimension or whatever the fuck? And so, that's the realest shit you can get. That's the realest thing staring in our faces. All we know is we're gonna die.
There's a good book. There's a good book that summarizes that. Mm-hmm. That book is called Die with Zero.
Die with Zero.
Yeah. It's
What's that about?
So Die with Zero is what I just talked about, front loading experiences that you want to be having.
Make sure you do them now.
Yeah, make sure you do them now. Because there's certain experiences, like, for example, you want to travel the world. You can do it when you're in your 20s, your 30s. Imagine doing it when you're in your 60s.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Insane ballgame.
So
even in your 40s, completely different than 20s.
Yeah, exactly. So some of these activities, you need to be doing them now.
Yeah. And especially 40s, if that ties in with being married and having a family, then it's completely different.
Yeah, and then there's also the consideration, okay, when it comes to resources, money you can always make more of. Time you don't get back. Mm-hmm. So people spend a lot of time that you don't get back on trying to acquire something, money, that you could get back through just basically positioning yourself better and making your business work for you or your job. You can always make more money.
Yeah.
That's the argument. Mm-hmm. And it's just to prioritize things that you don't get back. That's all.
Yeah, you only get your 20s once, and that goes into having the minimal responsibilities. Okay, there's wife and kids, you know, maybe that will happen in 30, 40s. But that's like a huge fucking game changer. And so, you know, so many talk about this, but like Gary Vee is one, for example. Like, you're 30 fucking 5, you're still a fucking baby. In your 20s and 30s, you need to be taking the risks. You need to be taking the risks. You need to go start that fucking crazy startup. You need to go fucking start that music project. You need to go live in that crazy place. You need to try this, try that. That's what your 20s are for, but still your 30s as well. And so, yeah, we're still so fucking young, and we should be trying these things. You know, needless to say, we're gonna be probably living a lot longer than people are now by the time we get older.
Yeah, a way to reframe it is also if they think it's risky to do it now, imagine not doing it now. Imagine the risk of not doing it now.
Yeah.
It's enormous, because as you get older, the risk only increases. So if you're gonna fail, you might as well fail now.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're gonna have to go back and live with your parents, live in your mom's basement, might as well do it now. It doesn't make sense to wait 5 years to find out the answer. If you need to find out whether something works or not, it's better to find out as soon as possible, so you can make the necessary adjustments. A lot of people live with an idea that they carry with themselves for years, and they don't find the answer until much later on because they never tried it earlier on, only to realize that they didn't need it or want it in the first place.
Yeah.
And they waited 5 years to get that answer. They could have found out that answer in the first year. And that's the...
Yeah, this is yeah, what do they say, like the biggest the worst thing is the feeling of regret. Oh, this is what like the old people said on their deathbed. It's like regret is one of the worst things that they regret. You know, it's like one of the worst feelings is what I woulda, coulda, shoulda. I wish I went for this. I wish I went for that. So I would say if you haven't watched those videos on YouTube, or like what dying people say on their deathbed, like that's some real ass advice right there.
Yeah.
You know? And so while we're young and we're gonna live longer and longer and longer, like I don't care if you're fucking 25, I don't care if you're fucking 18, 35, or fucking 45, or 55, or even 65. It's still fucking young, you know?
Yeah.
We're gonna be living for as long as you take care of yourself. Like, you know, this life extension shit's going crazy.
Life extension shit.
You know, by the time.
Speaking of that, I mean, let's talk about supplements.
Yeah, let's talk about supplements. Like, have you been watching all the Brian Johnson videos? I feel like his shit's
I've been watching the Dave Asprey stuff. I read his newest book. His
Okay.
newest book is on this.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's always been talking about biohacking, all of that, you know, with Bulletproof Coffee, all of the things that he's doing there. But I realized how a lot of the foods that I was eating was actually sapping nutrients from my body.
Sapping nutrients?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like, you know, the plant-based foods.
Oh, were you doing plant-based for a while?
No, I was not, but like I had plant-based protein, like the pea protein, the soybean protein, and you know that shit screws with your testosterone levels.
Soy,
right?
I heard the soy does.
Yeah, it does.
Don't want
So
soy.
I'm like, nope, cannot do that. I gotta keep my T levels high.
Yeah.
So I moved back to whey, but grass-fed whey,
Okay.
and trying the collagen. I'm doing all of these different supplements, Tonga Ali,
Yeah.
and then I even got the Siberian ginseng going on there.
Ooh.
And you know, like they have all of these different mixes. I take the supplements at different times of the day too, to ensure that my energy levels maintain high throughout the day.
Yeah.
I mean, David, we were talking about him earlier this episode. He loves this shit.
Oh.
He told me about this thing called a DEXA scan. And a DEXA scan is like what people usually, they are like, they're suffering from muscle atrophy, right? They're deteriorating, right? But if you are a bodybuilder or you're an athletic person, you can actually make use of a DEXA scan to essentially gauge how much muscle composition you have, which is more accurate than the in-body. You know, the ones you see in the gym, you got to put your hands on the scanner. Much more accurate than that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So what is it? Is it like a machine?
It's like those MRI machines, those
Is
things.
it?
Those kind of, I haven't done it before, but I've seen like how it works. It's just a lot more accurate.
Advanced body scan.
It's advanced body scan.
Uh-huh.
And then I started doing the NAD drips.
NAD vitamin?
IV drips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your take on that? Because I've done the vitamin NAD a few times. I'm not sure about it. What do you think?
No, I feel good. Like I take NAD.
Yeah,
I
take
feel
the NAD
good.
in the supplement form.
No, in the IV form.
The IV, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. You feel it. I mean, when you take it, it's a bit of you get some discomfort in the stomach, right? You get some nausea, but afterward, you feel like oh man, I can work for days.
How long do you get the afterward positive effects? Like how many days after?
I mean, at least 2 days, but like noticeable effects. But then I think not noticeable effects. Maybe it just carries over for a week or so. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I don't know exactly which supplements are contributing to that end effect, because I also take ashwagandha. I cycle in and out of that because you don't want to take it for too long at a time, right? Because it makes you stoic, almost like no emotion. Kind of you're calm, right? You're calm as hell. So that's good. There's a lot of these supplements that are really useful too.
There you go, guys. Ask Gilbert on his Instagram. Yeah, I've been taking a lot of supplements recently, and some takeaways is, okay, so my homie James, maybe you'll meet him sometime, but he's like a men's health coach, and he got me on like Himalayan pink salt, like a half tablespoon, like in my electrolytes drink, like twice a day. And I swear, like, less cravings for sugar, less hungry, and like more energy. Because I think like what they say is like a lot of the times if you're like craving some food or just hungry, it's just like a lack of electrolytes, like / salt, and that's just what your body needs. So pink salt, boom, in your sports drink or with your BCAAs or in your protein drink or whatever. That's been great. And then like some sort of probiotics you gotta have. Like, are you on
gotta fix that? Yeah, probiotics. There's prebiotics, probiotics, and then there's something called postbiotics or something like that. I don't know. There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know about the last one, but the first 2,
Yeah.
that's definitely.
That's the travel tip as well. If you're coming to a new country, make sure you do probiotics before you come out. Thailand, for example, Bali, it makes your gut stronger. You're less likely to just get natural travel food sickness from the new bacterial environment. But it's that and fucking another one he swore by is before sleeping. All right, his protocol is so glycine and then evening primrose oil in like a supplement pill form, and I've been getting the best sleeps.
Really?
They say it's like it's all about sleeps, and so like glycine and then evening primrose oil like right before bed. And just getting really, really good sleeps, and then not eating before bed. He said that's like really bad, and I have a bad habit of doing that. And it kind of makes sense because your body is like, instead of relaxing, it's trying to digest all that food. Yeah, there are some quick tips, but I hope to do a podcast with him sometimes.
Yeah, that sounds good. I haven't tried that out yet.
Yeah, try that. And then also so tryptophan, tyrosine, L-theanine. These are ones that are serotonin and dopamine, and you can get your levels checked obviously if you want to, but just those, I was doing an experiment, and I mean, on the bottle it says encourages positive mood, but like it really works if you're just like feeling in a down mood. Take some tryptophan, theanine, and tyrosine. It just releases dopamine and serotonin. It's like legal drugs. In a moderate dose. And so like I feel like a lot of people in like America, they're just not feeling, on fire, not feeling like alive, maybe a little bit down, depressed or whatever, and then they go into a doctor or whatever, and they get them on antidepressant pill subscription. Where all they really need is just some tryptophan pill once a day. It's just like, yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Well, or they need to hit the gym.
Yeah, and that. It's like, and that. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, you're depressed? Oh, when's the last time you worked out? Oh, you never? Okay. Okay. Well, go do some fucking squats. But really, like, the system, the doctor is going to be like, oh, well, working out's not for you. Oh, you're a lazy Here's some antidepressants. Check for me. Anyways, that's a whole nother wormhole. Shit. What else? We're talking about Tesla bots. We got AI. It's gonna get crazy. We got fucking next year. We're gonna be able to do a podcast in our fucking Apple goggles.
Are you gonna get that?
Dude, of course.
Bro, that's like $3,500.
Yeah, but dude, here's the thing about money is prices of things are relative to how much you make. Like, money is relative. And so there's like this CNBC video of actually a guy living on 120,000 a year living in Bangkok. And people were like, in the YouTube comments, some people were like, why would you spend 10,000 a month in Bangkok? It's like, it's relative to what you make. You're gonna spend relative to what you make. That's the whole point. And so like $1,000 for one person is only relative to what they make. It's completely different to another person. And so people are like, even like rich YouTubers are like, it's expensive. What's the definition of expensive? It's relative to your income that you have.
It's also dependent on like how much you care for the gear.
Your values.
The gear.
Saying an Apple goggles is expensive is just like saying that Mercedes is expensive. It's like, why do you think it's supposed to be expensive? It's because it's the best. That's why people get it. It's because they want the best thing. And so an iPhone is an iPhone expensive? You can't afford that shit, but you fucking got it anyway. You fucking put that on 24 months credit card payment.
People do that shit all the time. Yeah.
So I'm chuckling with when people are saying $3,500 is expensive. That's like,
you're gonna get those, right? You're gonna try them out.
Yeah, man, because
first
like
one in the store.
This is the fucking future. I mean, so I got the Snapchat goggles like 6 years ago.
Okay.
I was wearing those around Tokyo, fucking going crazy in the club, and I lost them in the club. Oh. Just getting super fucking just getting super drunk. And so, yeah, I'm a digital creator, but I mean, it's an iPhone. You're going to be able to, you can watch a 4K movie just like from anywhere. Like, you'll be inside. You can be.
But you got a TV strapped to your head. That's gonna be.
Yeah, but who gives a fuck? That's fucking. You're fucking. You can teleport to Mars. Are you kidding me? That's gonna be the sickest thing ever. We're gonna be able to do this podcast this time next year.
I mean, we both got our goggles on, and then we have like a mic in front of us.
We're gonna be able to like do it in Mars, and then we're probably gonna be able to record it, screen record it, and then put that on YouTube, and it's gonna be like we're both on Mars. Like doing a podcast.
Okay.
And so not only that, but then you got games, and then I'm super curious about work as well. So we were talking about 4K screens as well. You're gonna be able to.
You have 5K screens. Like I've seen the Apple has this display. Is it a 5K screen or is it like? I think it's a 5K screen.
Oh, like the Apple displays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5K. Yeah.
That is like the pixels on that.
Yeah, you can't even see.
You can't even see them.
It's like real.
Yeah.
And so that's what people on YouTube are saying is with the Apple goggles is like, it's basically like 4K or 5K or whatever, but like working on it. So you can be working on it and like have as many screens as you want. I don't know, man. It's gonna be crazy. And it's gonna be a thing, on your head, and then as years progress, it will probably get lighter and whatnot. But yeah, it's virtual reality. I mean, until Elon Musk comes out with the fucking Neuralink and then plugs you into the Matrix, and then you're really living in a pod, fully living in the digital world. But
yeah, I'm not sure about it actually.
dude, yeah, people are already starting to talk about like, so with like AI and games, it's like now moving into the future. Like someone was talking about now with superpower AI, there'll be video games that are infinite, because AI can generate a new world after new world after new world after new world.
Yeah.
And so like and you can generate your own world just by telling it, hey, make me a world where there's 1,000 Gilberts, and then half of them are ladyboys, and then but it's Thailand, but it's also mixed with Hong Kong, and then there's gorillas running around, and the objective is to stay away from all the ladyboys and gorillas. And then the AI will go, okay, and it will create that video game, and then you got your goggles, and then you're like doing it. It's like AI will be able to make infinite worlds. Anyways, we're going into some crazy
tangents,
AI tangents and AIs. I don't know. What's on your mind lately?
Well, I mean, we were talking about some interesting topics earlier.
We were talking about working remote. We were talking about supplements.
We're talking about fitness. We're talking
fitness.
about
do it now. Don't
energies. Wait. Yeah, we're talking about
talk about Dave Asprey. We're talking about traveling, living in Bangkok.
Yeah, so many things. I mean, like, I think for me the biggest improvement, visible improvement in the last year has really been my fitness routine. And I think part of that helped was doing the 75 hard.
Oh, you did 75 hard?
Yeah, but I was traveling, and by day 40, I couldn't keep up with the schedule because I was in the air and all of that. But the 40 days was enough for me to pick up the habit of working out. Like I was working out 2 times a day for 7 days a week, no rest. And then once I kind of got off of that, I dialed it back to 6 days, took a day off. So it was kind of like I did an Arnold split. So it was like back, chest, arms, shoulder, legs, upper, lower, etc. Like all of that 6 days a week. And then I dialed it back to 5 days a week. And then that now it's like 4 days a week.
4 days a week, twice a day?
No, not twice a day.
Okay.
But I work out. Sometimes I work out twice a day. So here's the thing: I work out in the gym 4 times a week, but I also do tennis.
Oh yeah.
Once or twice a week. I do Muay Thai once or twice a week. I go swimming a few times a week.
Nice.
So like, there's been days where I've done gym, Muay Thai, and swimming all in the same day. I'm like, fuck, that's like, I felt good though. I felt good.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
I felt good, and what I wanted to share is because I've gotten into the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
Just
it looked fucking good.
Just doing that. Not you don't have to go that extreme, but you need to have the discipline, and you gotta eat right. You gotta eat the chicken, rice, veggies. Chicken, rice, veggies.
That's not eat like a fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, I just had pizza earlier, but I'm gonna go to the gym afterwards, so it's like it's fine. And I realized that if you do like to eat food, the more you work out, the more quota you have to eat that kind of food, because you're burning off the calories anyway. Like yesterday, I went Muay Thai, I was sweating my ass off, and then, now I'm going to the gym, and then maybe go for a swim afterward. So gotta have like all of this physical activity, and I think it's super important because especially if we're working remotely, sometimes you get lazy. You just like, okay, I'm just gonna be at my desk all day, no sun, no walks, no steps, none of that. And then here,
so beast, by the way. I didn't know you did the
Yeah.
75 hard. I've heard about that only recently, but that's super beast. And so
Yeah.
hacks I will share that I figured out recently. Okay, wish I knew this sooner, but in our Phuket house we had a treadmill in our fucking house, and I realized only 3 months ago I can put my laptop, I can stand it up on the thing, and so I've been doing my team calls, my emails on the treadmill, and that will be an hour, sometimes hour and a half or 2 hours, just blows by 600 calories, boom, done.
Yeah.
And so that will be like the second workout of the day, right? And so that's like bonus. And so I love the like two birds with one stone mentality. And then we ordered like a mini treadmill thing that goes under your standing desk. We ordered that at our place here, but like it doesn't work, so we're gonna try to get another one.
It doesn't work.
But I love that idea of doing it while you're on team calls or whatever, just like walking, because the time just flies by.
Yeah.
And even if not that, what I will do on the treadmill, like I'll have my YouTube podcast or whatever YouTube shows like they're like I want to watch, I'll bang that out on the treadmill as well, and time just flies by. So there's that. And then in addition to that, oh yeah, the tip that I found over the years is like scheduling. If you're gonna do something like Muay Thai or like a CrossFit or like a class, like book those every week, so it's like on the calendar, so you can't cancel because you already paid. So that's a little hack, just to like make sure it's like scheduled in there.
I gotta do that for yoga.
Yeah.
Yoga is the thing. Like, actually, I had this funny thing came about. I was talking with a friend, and I'm not afraid of going to Muay Thai, going to swimming, going to the gym, but I am afraid of going to yoga. Yeah, I'm like, fuck. I don't know about this, man. Like, I'm not looking forward to it. But once I get there, yeah, it's a good time, and there are certain activities that we wouldn't prioritize, but we need to do them. So that sounds like a good way to, you pay up front.
Yeah.
You know you got money in there already. You're like, you got to go to the class. If you don't show up to the class, it's yeah.
So they also have what's it called, Class Pass in Bangkok. They have that.
They still have that. I thought they closed that thing down. No.
I just got an ad for it for Class Pass. They have it in Bangkok. I did it a couple years ago, but they do have that. They have it. They have everything in Bangkok. Guys, yoga, fucking rock climbing, Pilates. I mean, every fucking thing you could want. It's a huge tropical Buddhist New York City. Of course, Muay Thai. I go to the nice, clean, air-conditioned one, just because there's like not a lot of people there, and they have loud music, and it's it's called RSM Academy. Feel free to check it out. Oh, and the other big reason is because they have multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Like every 2 hours, whereas most Muay Thai places are only like morning and 4 p.m. Where this one you can go at 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 7. And that's another reason I go there.
I just go to the ones with no AC.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
but like what my consideration is different. It's like the ones with no AC. I know like those guys kick my ass.
Yeah, those
real hard.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to get good at it. I'm trying to bang it out.
Yeah. That's the one I'm going to is more of like it's more of a fitness class, Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Not for like training.
Cardio kind of like,
it's like a workout Muay Thai class.
Yeah.
More of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So they got that around here. They got everything. I've actually been getting into swimming this past year and loving it. I've never been a swimmer.
Yeah, I know, same.
Are you like, so you've not been like traditionally a swimmer? Or you're like
No. I'm traditionally not a swimmer, but I started doing swimming because I'm going to the gym, I'm pumping iron.
Yeah.
But I feel that to get that tone physique, really need to like go swimming. And then you see who's got the best physique. You look on Google, swimmers. Yeah. Because they go in and the body is being sculpted by the water. Oh. And that's like, if you go swimming, you're basically making yourself look more toned, and it helps a lot. You know, getting the 6-pack, the 8-pack out. You know, I am jealous though. Like I see some people with the 8-pack, and I'm like, man, I don't think I have the 8-pack underneath. I'm just.
Oh yeah.
Well, you got the 8-pack, right? You got that.
I'm not sure I know what an 8-pack is. People say that. I don't know. But anyway, I got in terms of muscles, like I have the base from my high school football background, which is basically we were like ranked number 1 in the country. So it was basically like a college NFL weight room program. We had like fucking NFL trainers and shit in there.
Yeah.
So that's where I get my base. And so now more days I just focus on body fat and just trying to stay lean. Right? And when I'm at my most lean, it's when I'm doing Muay Thai twice a week. It was just like simply that, But recently, so I stumbled on this YouTube video called "How to Swim Effortlessly," and I clicked on it, and it was just like such a good fucking video. It just breaks it down, and it just clicked in my mind. Oh, that's how you swim. And he was saying like, long distance swimmers, they're swimming as easy as it is to walk. Like they're not like, and like I've been doing it all wrong, and so I've been doing it in the pool, and now you get the hang of it. You're just like cutting through the water like a fucking dolphin, and it's
how are you supposed to do it? Like demonstrate it.
I mean, you have the least resistance, right? And so you need to go like this, coast, and then come back at like a right angle like this. He calls it Barbie hands. You're coming back, hard pull, and then you don't pull until you're here, and then you want to stay as horizontal as possible, and then it's just like learning how to breathe, like don't put your head all the way out of the water. There's just all these little tips that because I've never really had swimming lessons, and aside from
because I had to figure out like, oh, I don't go too deep into the water with my hands, and I'm trying to
it's all these little things, and so it's fun. It's like every time I go swimming, I'm just like working on form, going back and forth, and it's like it's almost like a golf swing or a baseball swing. It's like it's never perfect. You're always trying to get it dialed in and perfect. And the push off is so important. Push off the wall. You need to start with a strong push off, gliding, and then anyway, it's so fun. And so how long do you swim for? Like
30-40 minutes.
30-40 minutes. Wow, okay.
I don't think that's long though. I think that's pretty short in my.
Yeah, I'm not even like the longest I've done is like 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, because I tend to be like a sprinter, so I want to go fast, but I try to slow my ass down.
You try to sprint, but
I try to sprint.
Slow.
But I gotta like relax and just like coast, take more breaths, and so I can go for a longer time. Yeah, but I wish they had. Does this exist? Like headphones for swimmers, underwater ones?
What you mean waterproof?
Waterproof headphones
earbuds.
for swimmers.
Not headphones, but earbuds.
Yeah, I wanna listen to music while I swim. Oh, and then there's this other tip that was super interesting. He goes, when you're swimming, listen, and you want it to be as quiet as possible, because if you hear a bunch of turbulence water, you're making too much turbulence. And like he plays the sound of how it should sound on the video. It should be like, it shouldn't be like, you shouldn't hear a lot of splashing.
Yeah.
And so like I'm just thinking about all these things, how to improve.
Like because when you look at Olympic swimmers, there's a lot of splashing. You see splashing.
Oh yeah, probably because they're like sprinting so hard or whatever. But and then learn about the different forms. Like there's like the one kick and reach, and then there's the sprinters that they're constantly kicking. But there's this form where you're just like one kick and push, one kick and reach, one kick and reach. Anyways.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, just like one kick and then one kick.
You gotta send me that video.
Yeah, it's really good. The channel's called Skills and Talents, and it's
Skills and Talents.
Skills and Talents, dude.
So it's not just swimming.
It is just swimming, but it's called Skills and Talents. But yeah, YouTube is fucking awesome. You can learn anything, guys. By the way, if you didn't know,
YouTube University. You
can learn anything on YouTube, guys. Like, there's no excuse not to do anything. It's just crazy these days. It's just everything is there at our fingertips. I don't know. Yeah. Any other things you want to say to the world out there?
Well, shameless plug. Book's coming out soon.
Yeah. What's up with the book? Where's it published?
I'm thinking whether I should self-publish it or just find a publisher, but more likely than not, it's going to be on Amazon.
Nice.
So Amazon will let you know when that comes out. Ideally, in the aligning with this episode. But yeah, I'm looking forward. I mean, book is really geared towards people that are looking to live on their comfort zone, on the edge of their comfort zone, trying to push and expand. Because, like, for example, if your comfort zone is like this, and your goals are out there,
Yeah.
instead of trying to step outside and jump into the sea and try to grab it, you gotta slowly expand your comfort zone until you can reach out with your arm and grab it. That's like the way to do it, because people are scared of jumping out of their comfort zone for their goals.
Yeah.
And makes sense because you're doing something very risky. But if you're expanding your comfort zone by constantly improving yourself, it's a lot more attainable. And so, yeah, this book was, I believe that everyone has at least 2 or 3 books in there, in them.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of whether you make the effort to take it out, to bring it out into the world. And this is my second book. And at this point in time in my life, this is the message I want to send. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this. And I'm glad we got to do this.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, when you put yourself in the environment of, you know, other ambitious people, other like-minded people, then shit just starts happening. Like, this was totally like random. I didn't even know you had a book until today.
Yeah.
And then it's like, boom. And so, but yeah, we were talking about, you know, you starting your. Are you gonna do like YouTube videos or whatever, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing YouTube, transcribing it, turn it into content, putting reels, doing all of these things. I mean, I'm upgrading my my content strategy as well. I can get some tips from you if possible.
And like who is your like target audience? Do you have like a type of person in mind? Like,
Well, yeah, right now I'm like, one of my book. I mean, this book particularly is, I want to connect with other people that can potentially become people I work with, like business partners. And the book is like a business card, like you said, to attract the right kind of people in my life. And I'm looking for hustlers. I'm looking for the killers that really have big goals. And instead of me going to networking events, going like flying around, trying to meet these people, I'm gonna create the platform to attract that to happen.
nice.
The same way you have this podcast, the YouTube channel, and all of that. There's certain groups of people you want to attract. So I want to attract people that are really ambitious. They have, whether they're already like out there traveling the world, living in different countries, doing their own thing, or they just, just got that ambition and they're willing to put in the work for it. I love to meet them. Yeah.
Heck yeah. And so what is your business? I don't know if we talked about that.
Oh yeah. So we can get into that real quick.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing funnel marketing for a while. Yeah. So building out sales funnels, and I used to do it on a retainer basis, but then I've switched my business model because I've helped companies do well, and I realized that by charging retainer, I'm not really making the most of the partnership.
Yeah.
But it's fair because I'm charging the retainer up front. So instead, I started to work as a business partner, and I take a piece of their profits. And because I have the conviction and the confidence in myself and my abilities and my team to deliver and create something that will help people make more money.
Nice.
And therefore, I'm willing to work for that equity.
Nice.
Work for that equity.
Makes sense.
Positioning myself, in the current marketplace, so that say post recession, I'm in a good place to pick up distressed assets and things like that.
Yep.
On the other hand, I'm also in Web3. So of course, it's a really bad market right now, but tokens wise, I'm still trying to position myself in a good place so that I can take advantage of that should that happen again. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that good stuff.
Yep.
I still believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
As much as the AI trends are kind of coming out and all of that, I still very much believe in the whole Web3 blockchain space. I feel that there's a lot of things that are happening underneath the surface. People are not talking about it. The attention is not there yet, but eventually we'll come back.
Yeah.
So
I just saw this video. It was kind of tying it all together. The Web3, AI, and gaming, and the blockchain tokens that are kind of behind all that ecosystem. Like what I said about game universes are gonna be infinite, and there's gonna be and it also ties into the Apple glasses and this AR worlds and VR worlds. There's got to be these blockchains that that make all that happen, and advertisements inside of VR and AR worlds, and it's just it's still the very beginning of this shit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Very interesting times. Tesla bots aren't here yet, but we do 2023 have robot servers in the restaurants. If you watch this far, let me know, because they have them in Asia. Do they have them in McDonald's yet in America? I don't know, guys. But robots are here. They're not going anywhere. They're coming. They're going to be in the Tesla factories within 5 years, and they're going to be...
You really like Tesla, huh?
No, I like the times that we're in. I mean, they're building humanoid robots that are... I'm just... My mind is blown by the fact that this shit is real and happening right now in our lifetimes. It's on the fucking... They're announcing it to the world. We're building these autonomous robots that are going to be able to do anything from Elon Musk's mouth. They're going to be able to clean your house. They're going to be able to set up this podcast room. We're going to be able to talk to it just like it's a human, because it's going to be advanced general intelligence inside of it. Yeah. It's going to be able to be your companion, your girlfriend, your friend, your coach, your mentor. You're going to be able to ask it any question in the world, and it's going to be it's going to be ChatGPT built inside of it. It's gonna be geniuses.
It's gonna be even more advanced in the next half year. I think that there's gonna be a lot of things coming out. I mean, automation has always, like I said, I studied automation in university, and when I started working in startups, I was pretty crazy about trying to figure out how to automate things in my work. I was trying to make these sales campaigns, these email campaigns. They're outbound, by the way. It was sent out to these decision makers at these companies, and I would have these integrations in place so that when they respond, it will, through Zapier, it will pop up in my, pop up on my phone and all of that stuff. And then I will wake up in the morning every day, and then there'll be requests for meetings. Fill up my calendar. Yeah, that's magical. Yeah. And then I was the only salesperson at the time in my company, so I had to figure out how to scale myself. And by setting up these automations, I was replacing myself with 10 of me, 10 of me. Yeah. But now with all of these new tools coming out, this AI wave, it's going to make it a lot easier for people to do all of this. I mean, I do admit that I felt that I had an edge back then when I was able to pull this off, because most people weren't able to do that because you needed a little bit of technical know-how and then some experience. Now people can just, with a click of a button, get the same advantage. So although of course now with my understanding that I have, it's there's other things that I'm working towards as well when it comes to automation, but I think for the most part people have this access that allows them to do this.
How about this question? If someone is asking you, maybe they're a past 19-year-old version of yourself, and they're like, you know what? I don't want to go the corporate route or even the school route. I want to be location independent and live a life like you. What do I do? What should I get into? What business should I do? What should I start doing?
Yeah, good question. So if you want to get started, there are a lot of people that can give you guidance, but at the end of the day, it's just you just taking action, just making shit happen. Setting a deadline for yourself, setting a deadline and keeping your word to yourself. That's more important. It's everything that you set out to do that day, you do it, and every goal that you set out, or any action that you set out to do, not necessarily a goal, but the actions you set out to do in a given time frame for like 3 months, 6 months, you do it. You take action. You put money where your mouth is. You buy the ticket. So if you had the thought come to your mind, and you set your mind on doing it, just buy the damn. If you're gonna fly out, be a nomad, just buy the ticket.
Yep.
Buy the ticket. Figure out the rest later.
Yep.
And at the worst case scenario, you just move back home.
Exactly.
Yep, that's it. It's like there's no magic sauce to it. There's no magic sauce.
Yep. Exactly. And you might as well come out to a conference. That's what I've been saying for years. That's where we initially met, Nomad Summit. So look up the next conference in Bangkok, whether that's Affiliate World or Dynamite Circle or whatever the fuck's going on. Fly out to a conference and then accidentally stay forever.
That's where we met, and it's been a good 6 years.
Yeah, there's no better place to like meet like-minded people at a conference around shit that you're into. Is that robotics, AI, crypto, SEO? There's conferences for all that shit around here. Fucking ladyboys, whatever you're into, whatever. They gotta let those out here too. Anyways, good shit, bro.
All right, yeah, it's great having.
I think the battery's almost dead.
Yeah, great having me on the show.
Subscribe to the podcast. Follow Gilbert. See y'all, motherfuckers.